By subscribing and liking the content, give us a like to continue delivering the most important information. Stay safe by being vigilant. With that out of the way, let's delve into today's news. Ukraine's recognition of foreign cyber vigilantes, a new frontier in warfare. In an unprecedented move that blurs the lines between state military actions and civilian cyber activism, Ukraine has extended formal gratitude to a group of international vigilante hackers for their cyber assaults on Russian targets. This group, known as One Fist, has been instrumental in conducting cyber operations against Russian military and industrial digital infrastructures, significantly marking a shift in how modern conflicts are waged. The formation and operations of One Fist. One Fist, a coalition of hackers from diverse national backgrounds including the UK, the US, and Poland, emerged in response to the escalating conflict in Ukraine. Their operations have ranged from data theft from Russian military contractors to hacking surveillance systems to monitor troop movements. These activities have not only demonstrated the global nature of digital warfare but also highlighted the critical role of cyber capabilities in modern conflicts. Ukraine's controversial gesture. The Ukrainian military's decision to send certificates of gratitude to these hackers is laden with controversy. The awards, signed by the commander of the Airborne Assault Forces of Ukraine, acknowledged the hackers' significant contribution to Ukraine's military efforts. This act raises important questions about the formalization of civilian participation in cyber warfare and the potential implications for international law and norms governing conflict. The ethical and legal quandaries. The involvement of civilian hackers in state-sponsored cyber operations treads a fine line between patriotic volunteerism and potential violations of international law. Critics argue that such state encouragement of civilian hacking could further erode the distinction between combatants and non-combatants, complicating the already complex ethical landscape of digital warfare. International response and guidelines. The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, has expressed concerns over the increasing involvement of civilians in cyber warfare, urging states to adhere to the principles outlined in the Geneva Conventions. The ICRC's guidelines aim to mitigate the risks and ethical dilemmas posed by civilian participation in hostilities, emphasizing the need for clear boundaries and accountability in cyber operations. The personal toll on hackers. The personal narratives of hackers like Christopher Courtwright, alias Voltage, reveal the deep commitment and sacrifices made by these individuals. Courtwright's account of losing his job and depleting his life savings underscores the personal stakes involved in these cyber operations and the profound sense of duty felt by participants. The strategic impact of cyber vigilantism. The strategic successes of One Fist, including significant data breaches and disruptions to Russian military logistics, underscore the potential impact of cyber vigilantism on the battlefield. These operations not only provide tactical advantages but also demonstrate the power of cyber capabilities to challenge conventional military forces and strategies. The future of civilian cyber participation. The recognition of civilian hackers by the Ukrainian military may set a precedent for future conflicts, where non-state actors play increasingly prominent roles in cyber operations. This development prompts a re-evaluation of traditional notions of warfare, sovereignty, and the role of individuals in state-sponsored military activities. Conclusion. Ukraine's decision to award foreign vigilante hackers marks a significant moment in the evolution of warfare, reflecting the growing importance of cyber capabilities and the complex ethical and legal challenges they present. As the digital domain becomes an ever more critical battleground, the distinctions between soldiers and civilians, state and non-state actors, become increasingly blurred, raising profound questions about the future conduct of conflicts in the cyber age. The recognition of civilian hackers for their contributions to state-led cyber operations, as seen in the case of Ukraine rewarding foreign vigilante hackers, has indeed raised concerns among various stakeholders, including cybersecurity experts, international organizations, and governments. The primary worries revolve around the ethical, legal, and geopolitical ramifications of such actions, which might set precedents that other nations could follow, potentially leading to a domino effect with significant implications. Ethical concerns. From an ethical standpoint, encouraging or condoning civilian participation in cyber warfare blurs the lines between combatants and non-combatants. This ambiguity complicates the established norms of warfare and raises questions about accountability and collateral damage in cyber operations. Legal ramifications. Legally, the involvement of civilians in state-sponsored cyber activities could contravene international laws and norms, particularly those outlined in the Geneva Conventions and the Tallinn Manual on the international law applicable to cyber warfare. Such actions could be interpreted as a violation of state sovereignty and non-intervention principles, leading to legal and diplomatic disputes. Geopolitical implications. Geopolitically, the formal recognition of civilian hackers by a state could lead to an escalation of cyber hostilities, with other nations possibly responding in kind by mobilizing their own civilian cyber forces. This scenario increases the risk of widespread cyber conflicts that could spill over into the physical realm, potentially destabilizing international peace and security. International responses. Organizations like the International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, have cautioned against the involvement of civilians in conflict, emphasizing the need to maintain clear distinctions between military and civilian roles in accordance with international humanitarian law. Scholars and cybersecurity professionals have also voiced concerns, highlighting the potential for such practices to undermine global efforts to establish norms and rules governing state behavior in cyberspace. Calls for regulation and oversight. In response to these concerns, there have been calls for more stringent regulation and oversight of state interaction with civilian cyber actors. Proposals include establishing frameworks to govern the conduct of cyber volunteers and ensuring that any state-sponsored cyber activities adhere to international legal standards and norms. Conclusion. While the immediate impact of Ukraine's actions in rewarding civilian hackers might be seen as a tactical advantage, the long-term consequences could challenge the current international order, prompting a re-evaluation of how cyber warfare is conducted and regulated globally. The debate over these actions reflects broader concerns about the future of international security in the digital age and the need for comprehensive international dialogue and cooperation to address these emerging challenges. What is your opinion on this important matter? Do you agree with the Ukrainian government's actions? Please leave a comment sharing your thoughts on this issue. Your opinion is highly valued by us and our audience. Thank you in advance. And now, as we reach the end of our news segment, please remember, for a detailed list of our sources, you can find them in the description of our YouTube video. Thank you to everyone who watched today's program. Remember, by following us, you become part of a reliable source for information and advice. Whether you like the program or not, please press subscribe to join our community. This helps us improve and ensures you are among the first to receive our latest news and programs. Don't forget to hit the like button and share our channel with your friends. Farewell, until we meet again.